I bought a house for 5,000 euros. This is the key to the cellar. It started 3 days ago when my friend told me he would sell me his cabin in the woods, but I didn't realize how deep in the woods it was. Nobody had been up here in years, and so the path had completely disappeared. I'm trying to create a path by just flattening down. It's up to my shoulders. I was convinced I would be able to find it, but we've been out here in the woods for 3 hours searching for it. Haven't lost hope. I immediately lost hope, so we came back the next day. We're back with the car. Oh gosh, just...
Why did I crash into this log?
You certain that this is the path? We decided to abandon the car, and after a few more hours on foot, we found it. Yeah, you can barely see the tiles. But we're on the wrong side. How do we get there? More hours cutting through the woods with a stick. Here it is. Watch out. It was completely overgrown. These thorns everywhere. We definitely should have brought some proper tools to cut through these vines, but we figured it out. Check this out. I've cleared. Here, look at the view. After clearing the path enough, we finally got our first look inside. Spider webs everywhere. Whoa! This is where the other door goes. It's not so bad. I'm not sure how I feel about this blue. A stove. Whoa! Look at the light.
Probably 12 volts.
We got a boombox. We got a jezva. We got some wine glasses. We have no idea what's up there. Look at that. The chimney. A little window.
Underneath is a cellar in which I haven't been, ever.
The cellar was definitely what made me the most curious. Candles, a hat, not a very pleasant smell, I'm not gonna lie. This tiny little L-shaped room. An American classic with President Snitchkie Lazi. This place has no water, no electricity, and I'm gonna live here this summer. Follow this page to see the transformation. My 5,000 euro house just keeps getting better and better. Okay, there's a few problems. It's in the middle of the woods and there's no path to reach it. Yeah, you can barely see the tiles. But we're on the wrong side. How do we get there? Though it took multiple days to locate and reach the house, I was determined to clear a path. The next day, when I was up working alone, some neighbors who had seen my videos offered to help. They brought the tractor out and started clearing the path deep into the woods. Next thing I know, the whole family was involved. Chainsaws, hooks, axes. It was amazing and exhausting. I cannot express enough how much of a blessing it was that this family came out to help me. There's no way I could have done it on my own. Now the path is clear and safe. Look at the way this looked before and now. Listen, we're far from finished, but I'm amazed. You can freaking see it. You can see the house. Now I had to tackle the inside. Spider webs, dead things, horrible smells, everything had to go. I didn't want to risk any bacteria or animals living in this old furniture, so I just pushed it off the balcony. Some pieces were easier than others, but I got it. My new neighbors helped me get the big stuff down the mountain. I offered to pay them for their time, but they wouldn't accept any money. That's Balkan hospitality. They even hiked all the way up the mountain to give me some soup while I was editing this video. I swept up, got rid of the spiders, disinfected everything, and now, my room. Just a simple camping bed and a sleeping bag. The sun is down, and it is time to spend the first night in the new house. Wish me luck. Follow this page to see what happens next. Living in a 5,000 euro house isn't easy. Sure, it took me days to even find it deep in the woods. It's up to my shoulders. And even more time to clear the path so it was safe to reach. But now, look at the way it was before and after. You can freaking see it. You can see the house. Despite still not having water or electricity, I decided to move in. It is time to spend the first night. Wish me luck. The first night went well. I think there's something out there. Anyway, I couldn't find the source of the noise, but I woke up the next day ready for work. My back hurts. I decided it would be best to replace the old locks. Yep, that works. Next it was power. My neighbors at the bottom of the mountain had some ideas, so we went up and tried to install it. That'll do it. We have power. Next, I was burning to death, but if I open a window, bugs get in. I got some tools from my first aid kit and started cutting up a net. Unfortunately, it didn't come with a hammer, but I got it. Next, there were 2 big holes in my basement. I think that's how our little friend here got in, so I decided that I would fill those with some expanding foam. This is just a temporary fix. Now for water. At the bottom of the hill, there's a well, so I decided to take advantage and do some laundry. Is this a reasonable or efficient way to do your laundry? I guess I don't know. Ask your grandma. How did she do it? I hiked all the way up the hill with my wet clothes, and I built a solar-powered clothes-drying device. That should hold it. Looking absolutely beautiful. That is how you do it. Sure, walking up and down this hill every day isn't easy, and I wouldn't call one LED light luxury, but I guess my number one concern is just to see if I can make it through another night. Follow this page to see what happens. Hopefully, it'll be better tonight. I bought this house for 5,000 euros, and I'm starting to see why it was so cheap. I mean, it was buried deep in the woods, and we had to spend days uncovering it, but now you can see it clear as day. I decided the upstairs would be my room, so I cleared it of all of its infested furniture and built myself a little campsite. The first night was fine, but now it's time for night 2. Hopefully, it'll be better tonight. I swear there's something out there. I keep hearing it walking around in the brush. I'm gonna go investigate. Flip my little light switch here. Lights on. Hello? Okay, you can be my neighbor. There's nothing going on behind those eyes. He's my friend. Don't make too much noise, okay? The next morning, I got right to work. I thought this cabinet could be used to store my clothes, but it just wasn't very stable. So it looks like I'll keep storing those in my suitcase. I put this stove outside because I thought it was infested with spiders, but it was worse. Yep, there's the former occupant. Found him. I cleaned it up really nice and put it back inside. Next, I decided to clean the entire ground floor. It wasn't covered in vines anymore, but it was bad. What even is this? Nice. I decided I would keep this one. He looks polite. The day was brutally hot, and thankfully my neighbors came up to say hello. It's the first car that actually made it up. I gotta get me one of these. I can't believe this thing actually drives. Balkan people are a different breed. It's back to work. I'm just trying to remove everything from the living space, and I will clean it up later. Finally, it was time to face the cellar. I had been putting this off because I just didn't want to deal with the grossness, but now it was time. Ugh. After the furniture, it was spiders, hundreds of them. I've never seen so many in my entire life. I'm not gonna show any more, you probably find that disturbing. Anyway, to remove the cobwebs, I swept the ceiling, I swept the walls, and then finally the floors. After hours of work, I kicked open those medieval-looking doors. Ha-ha! It's clean! And the concrete outside was looking much better. Now I just need to clean up the yard. I've got big plans for this place. This is all happening in real time. Nothing is off the table when it comes to this remodel. Follow this page and see what I do in the next episode. Comment below with some ideas. My 5,000 euro house is a complete mess. Oh my gosh, it's hot today. Okay, the inside was full of all this nasty carpet and furniture. It had to go immediately, so I threw everything out into the yard that I could. Though it took a few days to get this done, now I have my bedroom upstairs and a clear cellar downstairs. Now I just need to clean up the yard. So my neighbor down the hill offered his time and his tractor to help me clear everything out. This trail is still not fit for cars. Ouch. We started grabbing absolutely everything, and oh my gosh, it was disgusting. I was not sorry to see any of this stuff go. I found this old mattress buried behind the house, and it really gave me a fight. Surprisingly, on the way down, we didn't drop anything. The neighbor took me to his designated disposal place, and we started to dispose of it. This is extremely common in the region. We're far away from any residential area, and we've got water and fire extinguishers on standby. It was pretty interesting to watch, though. Everything that could burn did. I drove the tractor back up the mountain this time. It was fun. We grabbed the things that we weren't planning on burning or we just missed last time. This trail really needs to be cleared more. I was invited to a nice lunch, and then I went back up the hill to handle the backside of the house on my own. Ah! Oh, that's beautiful. There were so many vines that it was hiding this cast iron sink thing that I had to remove. Now I've got a clear yard and a clear conscience. It's time for the real remodel to begin. In honor of 1 million followers, I'm gonna answer some of your most asked questions. How have I even lived out here the last 5 days without any water or electricity? A lot of people don't know this about me, but I actually served in the US Army for 4 years. I got out about 2 years ago and I moved to Europe. I've got tons of training on this kind of stuff. I get my water from this old well. The locals use it and it's fairly close to my place. If I need to go to the bathroom, I dig a hole. Until I get a shower set up, I've been showering with wet wipes. I know it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. For food, I've mostly been eating these little meals out of a tin. You can use the lid as a spoon if you're clever. I charge my phone using this solar panel and a little battery. I own the house and about 5,000 square meters that it sits on, but it's going to take a lot of work to get that cleared. It's in the Balkans. That's all the information about location I'll give you. If you want to see this turn into my dream house, you're in the right place. Follow this page to see what happens next. My 5,000 euro house is ugly. Today, I'm gonna paint my room and clear the landscape. Though just a few days ago, you couldn't even get in the front door, and I still have no water or electricity, there was one thing that bothered me since the beginning. I'm not sure how I feel about this blue.
Yeah, I had the same feeling.
So I bought some paint and carried it all the way up the trail to my house. This is ridiculous. I got to work right away. No need to tape anything off because the person who painted this before didn't do that either. How do you guys feel about the color? I wanted to go for something a little more modern. Homey. First wall finished. On to the next. Though I've done a lot of painting before, this took much longer than I suspected it would. I've still got tons of other work to do today. And voila! Now all I need to do is fix up the window frames and get a tile floor in here. I didn't want to paint the basement because it's got this broken window that needs to be fixed first. So I took that out and got some measurements. I had to make a trip down to the well to fill back up on water. This next job is going to take a ridiculous amount of work. Do you see this guy? Basically, I can't use my yard because it's full of these invasive Japanese knotweeds. So they've got to go immediately, all of them. I came across this old photo while I was digging, and this old fence. It actually could give me a pretty good idea of what the original property lines were. Unfortunately, then I came across these old brick tiles from the roof. There was a lot of them. Oh my gosh. It's getting dark. I've still got really far to go. So I just put on my headlamp and kept on working. I'm glad I did. I came across some interesting wildlife. Look at this dude. Ay, ay, ay. Absolutely adorable. Look at this chonker. That has got to be the largest slug. That's a brick. Oh. Work was going smoothly until... It's about 1 a.m. And I'm tired, but I'm still not sleepy, so I'm just gonna... What is that? Holy smokes, oh my god. Those are some shiny eyes. So I went to bed, and when I woke up in the morning, I had left quite a mess for myself. So the neighbor came back up with his tractor, and we loaded up everything that I had dug up. This man is a legend. There was a lot more than I thought there was. But now finally I can use my yard. This is the most visible the house has ever been. This is starting to get serious now. Massive improvements every episode. Follow this page to see what happens.